Assalamu alaikum, our dear students. Welcome to our series of online sessions for the first week of the school year 2021. Our lesson today is a continuation of the grammar basics and in particular auxiliary or helping verbs. Auxiliary verbs, as you see, there are three main auxiliary verbs in English: be, do, and have. You have seen be before, so in today's lesson we're going to study the verb do and the verb have. What is the function of the auxiliary verbs? Auxiliary verbs help us form sentences, الأزمنة, and they help us form questions. Let's look at the first group, verb have. Have, as all other verbs, has present, past, and past participle. The present of have, which is our main focus for today's lesson, is the present, okay, have, and we use have with I, we, you, or they, or the plural, الجمع. Also we have the word has, and we use it with he, she, it, or the singular, المفرد. So in the present we have, or we use have and has. In the past, this is just for your information, we use had, and in the past participle is had. Okay, so let's practice, and we will write here have or has to help us answer the 12 questions. So as you see here, I, does it take have or has? Yes, it takes have. And what about you? Have. What about he? Has. Very good. And she also has. It has. We. Very good. Have. And they also have. So let's look at sentence number 1 and 2 as examples. Number 1, my parents, space, we should write have or has, a beautiful house in the city. What should we write here? Okay, let's look at here, my parents, والدي. So this is plural, جمع. So what do we use? We use have. Now, number 2, a fantastic apartment in Toronto. What should we use here? Excellent, have. Okay, so now I advise you to stop the video for some time. You answer the questions 3 to 12. So pause the video please and think of the answers before we check them together. Okay, now I assume that you have stopped the video, so let's check the answers together. My father, a new job. My father is singular, so it's similar to he, and we use has. Very good. My brother, a lot of friends, so my brother also is singular, we use has. Number 5, they, an English test tomorrow. They, it's quite clear from here. With they, we use have. Number 6, this woman, 7 children. Okay, what should we use? This woman, so it's singular. She has. Very good. Okay, so what we need to know very well is that we choose have or has according to the subject, الفاعل. So what what comes before it, not what comes after it. So a beautiful house, no, we don't look at a beautiful house. We don't look at fantastic apartment, a new job, a lot of friends. No, we don't look at these words, but we look at the words that come before have or has, the subject, the doer of the action, الفاعل. Let's continue. We, number 7, we, a lot of money. We is quite clear and direct. Have. They, also. They, an ugly monster. They have. Excellent. Number 9, my cousin, a new car. My cousin, ابن عمي أو ابن عمتي, أحد أبناء العمومة. So it's one person, singular, has. Number 10, the pupil, التلميذ, an old pencil box. The pupil, it's singular word, so we use has. You, a different name. You, it's quite direct. Have. And finally, number 12, my teacher, glasses. My teacher is a singular word, either he or she, take has. Okay, so we have seen so far the verb have. In the present, we have two forms, have or has, and we practiced using them in sentences. Now, let's move to the next auxiliary verb, which is do. As we did with the previous verb, do has 3 forms. One in the present, الحاضر, المضارع, one in the past, and one in the past participle. What we notice about do in the present, it has 2 forms, do and does. And as we did with previous verb have and has, we have do and does. We use do with the same words, I, we, you, they, or the plural. And we use does with he, she, it, or the singular, المفرد. Okay, in the past, this is just for your information. We have did, and the past participle is done. Now, let's look at these carefully. We have 10 questions. So these are questions. As you see, at the end of each one, we see a question mark. So we said that we use do and does or all the other auxiliary verbs. One of their uses is to form questions. So let's look at number 1, for example. Does Peter live with his father? Okay, this is the question. So why did we choose does? Where is the subject of the sentence? The subject of the sentence is not at the beginning, because this is not a sentence. This is a question. Where is the subject? The subject comes after do or does. Here we have Peter. Peter is singular, مفرد, so we use does. Does Peter live with his father? Okay, number 2. Space, you learn Spanish. So, what should we use? Do or does? Okay, we need to think first. Here, we look at the subject, الفاعل. It's you. So, we use do. Excellent. Now, also, I advise you to stop the video, pause the video, answer questions from 3 to 10, and then let's go back. We'll come back to check the answers together. Okay, I think you have stopped the video, so now you can check the answers with me. Number 3, space, Andrew and Martin ride their bikes to school. This is a question. We need to put do or does. We need to know the subject. Take care and be very careful here. The subject here is not Andrew. It's Andrew and Martin. So these are two people, which means we're talking about a group of people or plural. So what should we use here? Do. Very good. Why? Because we have Andrew and Martin. These are not singular, مش مفرد. Number 4, they play in the garden. It's clear here, the subject is they, so we use do. Number 5, Sandy's hamster live in a cage. So who are we talking about here? We're talking about the hamster, Sandy's hamster. So the hamster, it's singular, so we use, excellent, we use does. Number 6, the cats sit on the wall. What is the subject? Cats, the cats. With the, this is plural, with the plural we use do. Number 7, we work in front of the computer. We, what should we use here? Do. Excellent. 8, you play the drums. What should we use? Do. Very good. Why? Because we have you. Number 9, Steve wear pullovers. Steve, singular. Excellent. We use does. And finally, number 10, I clean the bathroom. Who is the subject here, or what is the subject? It's I. With I we use, very good, do. So now we have seen two auxiliary verbs, have and do in the questions. We use so do in the question. We use do or does. And this is the end of today's lesson. We hope that you have benefited from it. Best of luck and see you in next videos, inshallah.